Do you watch English movies, you understand the words, but you still don't understand what they're saying? You know every word in the sentence. You see for years. But when a real person talks fast, your brain just freezes. Right now, I'm going to say something to you, and I want you to really listen. Want a coffee? 5 words. Do you catch all 5? Most people hear something like want to grab a coffee, like it's one giant word with no edges. And by the end of this video, you are going to hear those 5 words clearly, and you're going to know exactly why you couldn't before. Here's the thing, what he tells you. The problem is your vocabulary. The problem is not your grammar. You could know 10,000 words and still not understand a native speaker talking at normal speed. Today, I'm going to show you 3 secrets that change everything about how you listen. 3, not 10, not 20. 3 things. And once you understand these 3 things, native speech stops sounding like noise and starts sounding like actual words. Let's go. Secret number 1. Native speakers don't talk in separate words. In chunks. Sound chunks that blend together. Think about learned English. You learned by word. Do. House. Run. Each word standing alone, clean and separate, like bricks in a wall. But that is not how real speech works. Real speech is more like water. The words into each other. They crash. They lose their edges. So when someone says, "What are you doing?" it doesn't come out as 4 words. It comes out as "What day ya doing?" Say that with me right now. What day ya doing? One more time, a little faster. What a doing? The words into each other. That's not speech. That's not slang. That is just how English actually sounds when real people talk. Here's a real example for you. A native speaker says, "I'm going to get out of here." If you're listening for 5 clean words, "I am going to get out of here," you will miss it completely. But if your ear is trained for chunks, it sounds like "Imma get out of here." And boom, suddenly it makes sense. My students always make this mistake. They study lists. They memorize 1,000 words. Then they go watch a movie and feel like a failure because they can't keep up. But it's not their vocabulary failing them. It's their ear. Their ear was trained on textbook English, slow, clean, separated. Real English doesn't talk like a textbook. Pause right now. I want you to say this sentence out loud fast 3 times. What did you do? Yado. What did yado? Did you feel mouth speed up? That's exactly what natives do, except they've been doing it their whole life without thinking about it. And this next one, this one blew my mind when I first understood it. Secret number 2, native speakers drop sounds completely. Not soften them, not actually delete them, like they were never there. Take the word probably. You'd think it's probably 3 clear parts, but say it fast like a native. Probably. The middle sound disappears. Gone. Vanished. Or take, did you eat yet? That becomes jeet yet. The D and the Y crash together and turn into a J sound. I used to think I was bad at listening. I used to rewind videos 10 times thinking something was wrong with my ears. It never worked, because I was listening for sounds that simply were not there anymore. You think the problem is that you're listening too slowly. But actually the problem is you're expecting sounds that native speakers don't even say. Let's try a reel together. Close your eyes for a second and just listen in your head to this phrase. I do know. Now I want you to write it the long way. I do not know. See difference? 3 words completely vanished into one little sound, do know. Native speakers aren't trying to confuse you. They're not even thinking about it. It's automatic, like breathing. But for your ear, it feels like someone deleted half the sentence. Here's your moment. Try saying these 3 out loud with me. Gonna. Wanna. Gotta. Going to. Gonna. Want to. Wanna. Got to. Gotta. Say all 3 again, a little faster this time. Gonna. Gotta. Now, here's something most people don't realize. Once your mouth can produce these sounds, your ear suddenly recognizes them 10 times faster. That's how listening actually works. You don't just listen with your ears. You listen with your mouth too, because your brain predicts sound based on what it knows how to say. Wait till you hear this next one, because this is the one that actually answers our mystery phrase from the beginning. Secret number 3, stress and rhythm carry the real meaning, not the individual words. English is a stressed language. That means some words get hit hard and loud, and other words get squashed down small and quiet. Native speakers stress the important words, the content words, nouns, verbs, key information. And they shrink the small grammar words like the, to, of, are. Those tiny words almost disappear into the rhythm. Remember our mystery phrase from the start? Wanna grab a coffee? Let's down now. The important words are grab and coffee. Those get the stress, the energy, the clarity. Wanna and a are squashed down tiny, fast, blended. So in real speech it sounds like wanna grab a coffee, with grab and coffee popping out clearly, and everything else blending into the background like background music. Say it with me now, slowly first. Wanna a coffee. Now say it fast, the real way. Wanna grab a fee. One more time, with energy. Wanna coffee. See how the rhythm makes certain words jump out? That rhythm is the actual map of meaning. If you train your ear to catch the stressed words, the loud ones, the important ones, you can understand a sentence, even if you miss some of the smaller words around them. This is exactly why people who know fewer words sometimes understand more than people who know more words. How mad is that? It's not about how much vocabulary is sitting in your head. It's about whether your ear knows where to listen. Now here's a moment I want you to really sit with. You think the problem is your vocabulary, that you just don't know enough words. But actually the problem is your ear was never trained for rhythm and reduction. You could add 5,000 new words to your brain tomorrow, and you would still struggle with fast native speech, because the issue was never the words. The issue is of the sound. Get it? Once you understand that English rhythm hits certain words and shrinks others, you stop panicking when you miss a small word like the or of. You let your brain fill in the gaps automatically, the same way it does in your own native language. Think about your own language for a second. When someone talks fast in your native language, do you catch every single sound? No. Your brain fills in gaps using patterns it already knows. English works exactly the same way once your brain learns the pattern. Let's go back to our practice moment, because I want this to actually stick in your brain, not just float by. Pause the video and write down these 3 sentences exactly the way I say them, the reduced way, not the textbook way. Wanna grab a coffee? What day ya doing? Write them exactly like that, weird spelling and all. Now under each one, write the full textbook version next to it. Wanna have a coffee? What you doing? Did you eat yet? This simple exercise trains your brain to connect the textbook version you learned in school with the real sound version that actual humans use. Do this with 5 new phrases every single day, and within a few weeks, your listening will feel like someone turned the volume up and slowed the world down, even though nothing actually changed except your brain's ability to decode it. I want to give you one more practice moment before we wrap up, because repetition is what actually builds this skill, not just understanding it once. Try saying this sentence with me 3 times, getting faster each time. What do you to her? What did he say to her? What did he say to her? What did he say to her? Nice. Your mouth just practiced a pattern that shows up constantly in real conversation, in movies, in podcasts, in everyday talk between friends. The more your mouth produces these reduced sounds, the more your ear will catch them instantly, without translating, without pausing, without that frozen panic feeling you get when someone talks too fast. So let's bring this all together, because I promised you 3 things, and I want you to walk away with all 3 crystal clear in your mind. Number 1, native speakers chunk words together instead of saying them separately, so your ear needs to listen for groups of sound, not individual words. Number 2, native speakers drop and delete sounds completely, so don't panic when something feels missing, because something probably is missing on purpose. Number 3, stress and rhythm carry the real meaning. The big important words get hit hard, and the tiny grammar words shrink down and blend away, almost disappearing. Once your brain understands these 3 patterns, listening to native English stops feeling like an impossible wall and starts feeling like a rhythm you can actually follow, almost like music you're starting to recognize the beat of. Before you go, here's one thing you can do right after this video that will make a real difference. Pick one short clip, maybe 30 seconds, from a show or a podcast you actually enjoy. Don't choose something boring just because it sounds educational. Choose something you genuinely like. Listen to that same 30 seconds 5 times in a row. First time, just listen for the overall feeling. Second time, try to catch the stressed words, the loud ones. Third time, write down what you hear, even the weird reduced spellings like gonna and dono. Fourth time, check it against the real subtitles. Fifth time, listen one more time and notice how much clearer it sounds now that you know what's actually being said. That single 30-second clip, repeated 5 times, teaches your brain more about real rhythm than 100 hours of random watching ever will, because focused repetition beats passive exposure every single time. Remember that mystery phrase from the very beginning? Wanna grab a coffee? Listen to it one more time in your head right now. Wanna coffee. Do you hear it? Do you hear how grab and coffee jump out loud and clear, while wanna and a melt quietly into the background? That's not anymore. That's not of confusing sound. That's rhythm, and now you can hear it because you understand the pattern behind it. You're not missing anymore. You're hearing the actual shape of real English, the same shape every native speaker has been using their whole life without even thinking about it. So the next time someone talks fast and your brain wants to panic, don't panic. Listen the chunks. Expect missing sounds. Follow the rhythm. And just like that, the noise turns back into words, the words turn into meaning, and the wall you used to hit every single time starts to disappear, one rhythm, one chunk, one coffee at a time.